Welcome, everybody, to the Quantum Well-Being Show. Our intention is to help uplift well-being in a million people. And that happens by you receiving the energy, feeling the energy that always happens with our amazing guest. And I'm going to tell you about her in a minute. All of the health-related shows that we're having, all of the uplifting shows that we're having. If you go away uplifted, then the people in your house are going to be uplifted, and then their friends are going to be uplifted, and the family of those, and it just ripples out around the world. So thank you for being here. It's the Quantum Wellbeing Show right here on our broadcast team, Alpha. I want to invite you to join our membership group. Mac will put the link in the chat. It's like going backstage after a concert, but it's a little bit more prolonged than that. We have meetings. We have people like Jeni come on. We have naturopathic doctors come and have exclusive meetings just for you. We do Q&A, Augie and myself and the members, anything you guys want to talk about. There is exclusive content back there that's only for the members. So, and it's just going to keep growing. So I really invite you to join us there. And I want to invite you to the Mastermind Connection every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Zoom. We meet with this incredible group of people and we mastermind together.
What if I told you
what we're doing is creating benevolent intentions for the world, right? Depends on what's going on. We did peace during the elections. We did weather patterns that were headed in a certain direction. We had a lot of personal healings that we worked with. During one mastermind meeting, one of our favorite people, who's actually in the chat room right now, said that one of the dogs in their house had been out in the Canada snow for 8 hours, and it was a very young dog. So we together imagined joining laser beams of light so that it would coalesce in a place that the dog would see it and the universe would guide the dog back home. Before the mastermind even ended that afternoon, the way that the universe worked it out was that the dog was seen on somebody else's wildlife camera, and before the meeting was over, the dog was home and safe and doing really, really well. So if this sounds like something you'd like to do, it's so much fun. It's 2 p.m. Eastern. You can send an email to the THE Mastermind Connection, all one word, at gmail.com. Augie will send you the link. You can come hang out with us at 2 o'clock, do the meeting. It's like it's a guided imagery. We try to get into the feeling place of what we want to mastermind. So we often see, love encircling the world. We see parties in the streets. We see animals living among us, wild animals living among us, right? Because we want to feel the love that is coming into the world. So at 3 o'clock, we have a little beverage break, and then we come back and we have discussions about really, esoteric and quantum and fun stuff. So the THE Mastermind Connection at gmail.com. Now I want to tell you about one of my favorite guests, one of my favorite friends. It's Jeni Ji Cousins, gracing us with her gifts and her beauty tonight. Jeni Ji, as you guys probably all know, is an international known television clairvoyant, psychic medium, animal communicator, esoteric spiritual life coach. She's a teacher. She's a past life Akashic record reader. She's a meditation teacher, a relationship coach, transformation coach, and a pranic healer. Jeni reads into your level of consciousness to see where you're at, your soul's previous lifetimes, and what karmic situations you may need to resolve. She channels her clairvoyant insights and answers all your questions, giving you the clarity and what steps you may need to take to help you transcend and shift forward. Jeni's been doing readings for 40 years. She is amazing. She is spot on. Jeni Ji hosted and produced a live spiritual talk show called Shaw TV Television Studios for over 4 years, and booked clients and interviewed them and took calls from the viewers, doing readings and answering their questions. Jeni's been on many North American radio shows and was interviewed many times in magazines, podcasts, radio shows worldwide, of course. You can catch Jeni, catch her column in Psycho Gamma magazine. What a cool name that is. and her column is called Just Ask Jeni Ji. And you can catch Jeni Ji, her new show, on the Conscious Awakening Network called Soul Vibes with Jeni. And I want to invite you to check out the Conscious Awakening Network because we are partnering with them as well. And we're going to be streaming our shows over there too. And there's all new kinds of fun stuff coming. So, Jeni, welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. I'm always so grateful whenever I'm with you guys. Always so grateful, and I'm very thankful as well. Thank you.
So a lot of stuff is happening, and I have chills just thinking about, it's May 5th. It's the full moon. It's an eclipse. I don't know what else is. It's Mercury retrograde, right? So what is going on, Jeni? What an auspicious time for us to get together.
I know, and I didn't realize it at first, right, until the other day. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm on Nori's show on the 5th because today it's the full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is transformation and death and rebirth. And it's a huge portal day, 55555. And expect the unexpected right now. It's the ending of the lunar eclipse. So it's also the Buddha Wesak, which brings in a lot of celebrations, higher consciousness, higher intuition, and also a lot of energies that you were dealing with back in 2018 that were karmic. The contracts have now closed. And if you take a look at even this recent eclipse from the 20th, Mercury retrograde, the eclipse and the new moon, sudden shocks, sudden endings immediately. I had that happen to me twice, boom, boom, like sudden shocks. You know, so what happens is whatever you're not in alignment with, if you don't make decisions to end things or to start things or to resolve things, that eclipse was so powerful because the last time that eclipse came was 2005, 2004. So it ended things and shut the door immediately. I got a bunch of, oh my gosh, I can't believe what just happened. So right now, today, the door is closing. And it's a huge day still to manifest intentions. It's like your life purpose is coming through. It's coming out. And there's also for the next 24 hours, expect the unexpected, more new opportunities. Your soul's going to place you and put you where you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
So it's huge.
And all of it's interesting, and if you have a little bit of insight, a little bit of understanding into what's happening with the moon, and isn't Pluto doing something that's contributing to endings and
the retrograde and such like that. And that's the thing. That's how powerful that eclipse was. I had people say, oh, this Mercury retrograde. And I'm like, okay, yes, retrograde Mercury. However, this eclipse was so powerful that there's a lot of stuff that happened. I don't watch the news, so I don't pay attention to it. I can already see it. So there's a lot of shocking things that came. So it's like that ending that goes back hundreds of years ago that's now coming to the surface. So it really wakens somebody up and shakes somebody up. Like, for me, it did in a really, really good way. And I'm very grateful. Very grateful for just new things that have, just happened as well. So.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I had shocks. I had several shocks, and some of them were, I don't want to say I created them, but I certainly rolled with them, and decided to make changes in many areas. But also when you have like an idea of what's coming, if there are bumpy relationships, you can go, okay, this is a prime time for the potential of these relationships to end. Do I want to do the work to hold them together during this time, or do I want to let them go, Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens. So if you're in let's say a really karmic relationship, and that can be like with work, it can be personal, it can be with job, like romantically, whatever. If you're not paying attention and leaving that toxic relationship, let's say, you might end it, or that person might suddenly end it. They might block you or whatever, like that, sudden endings as well. So this is why it's like soul contracts are ending. They're clearing the karmic. And somebody might think, oh my gosh, they just ended the relationship with me, so I got to go running after them. And I'm like, no, don't do that.
No,
But if they
don't.
do, it's their journey. Of course, I don't judge. However, it's like, pay attention, because it's like your soul group, your soul tribe has really been showing you who they are, especially Mercury retrograde does that as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we actually have a question from one of our favorite people, Mars. He says, "Hi, Jeni. How do you see humankind aligning in May and summer?"
Well, this year, of course, is the Universal Seven, which brings like soul tribes together. And you're going to find that, I mean, even right now, throughout the whole entire year, not just May or June, certain people that your contracts have just ended with, that we just talked about, let them go. Because you're going to find that these people who you really resonate with and that you really connect with, who understand you, who are there for you, treat you with respect, all of that, those are the ones who are part of your soul tribe, who are there. And the other ones who you don't connect with anymore, they're leaving and they have left. So it's going to continue on for the whole rest of the year. You know, May and June. May is a very powerful month. This is a huge, powerful month. March, April, May were huge manifestation months, powerful months. Huge. Set your intentions. Really pay attention to the events this month, because even next week we're going to get triggered midweek.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then for today, since it's the full moon and the eclipse, what is like something good for people to do? Set intentions, or maybe clear their space, or what do you recommend during times like this?
Well, it depends on the person. Like, I mean, for those, like, I'm very sensitive, very empathetic. So certain people, they might want to just, I just need some space and time to myself. I don't want to be around somebody. I don't want to be around people. Listen to how you're feeling. So it's like when you're getting those phone calls coming in, or people wanting you to get together or whatever, if you feel that, that's what I need, then you do that. Where some other people are like, I need some time or space. So today the energy is very high. The Buddha Wesak as well, where they even let caged birds free. And they're all about showing more compassion and ending violence.
Nice.
So you have to go on, and this is where you have to set boundaries and really start, what's going to make me happy today? Phone calls come in, it's like, I just don't want to talk to that person right now. It's not because of this. I just need my space, because the more space you have, especially today, you're going to hear so many messages coming through. And you might even find that your dreams right now are really intense. I've had people even say in the past this few days, and it's going to continue on in May, really pay attention to your dreams as well. There's a lot of messages in it. A lot of messages.
Interesting. And it was like, I noticed that I was in a drought for dreams for such a long time, and they just started coming back, and very vividly, I might add. So I am paying attention. So a lot of people are stressed, Jeni, especially people who watch the news, and, a lot of people are worried about so many things, and it's so hyped up. What do you see that could offer us all some comfort and some peace? And tell us.
Well, I mean, the first thing before, no matter what anybody predicts, is the more you listen to people out of fear, it's going to create problems. So just for an example, I had a friend that was looking forward to going on this vacation. It was to an island where there's a volcano. I'm not going to, say where or anything. And her friend said, oh my God, you have to cancel that trip. Did you not hear about Nostradamus and all of this, how the volcanoes are going to explode and they're going to burn everybody on the island? Like, we're talking to the extreme. She canceled her trip. She saved for years because she was so fearful of what her friends said. She lost money on her trip, everything, she gave it up. So you still have to live your life. There's a lot of really good things coming. So it really depends on what you want to take a look at. There's negative things coming, of course. And, you know, like the borders are starting to open for unvaccinated people, you know, so it's just like, wow, you might not be able to go today, let's say, but it's like, wow, that's so awesome. That gives me something to look forward to. There's going to be more companies that we all see companies closing and the economy and just different things like that, which somebody can go into fear zone. However, I'm seeing like, let's say like 4 companies, let's say, that are in trouble, bankruptcy, or they're going to close doors. And what you're also going to see is certain companies are going to be like, you know what, let us all get together, all 4 companies, let's say, whatever they are, clothing company or, you know, a golfing store, like whatever it is, right? And they're going to merge together as one and help each other. And I talked about how like this year, even more so, the planet is awakening. All of the people, well, certain people that saw things one direction, they're now seeing a lot of truth being exposed, even more so with the medical field, with politicians, with how the world is run and so and so. So it's taking a look at the positive things. We're emerging together in humanity together with one. You're letting go of fearful news. Anybody can get scared. If somebody was to read what Nostradamus and other people who have predicted horror stories, it's going to create a lot more mental issues, a lot more depression on top of what we've already been through with COVID and so on and so on. So it's very vital to keep yourself surrounded with positive people. When I started having people saying, you can't move here, you can't do that, you can't do that, because this is going to happen. That's when I stepped back. And I'm like, you know what?
Right.
If I want to go somewhere, right, I'm not going to book it a year from now. I'm going to be like, I'm going to continue to do my plans. However, as I get closer, because if you take a look at world events, anything could happen at any time. I learned that years ago, just before I turned 40. I had a bombing that stopped me from going, and I still went. They closed the airports down. I still went.
Wow. And you know, things, if you set your intention on what you want to do, law of attraction is going to work it out for you.
Yes.
This healing academy that I'm in, the creator of the modality had a bunch of people in Bali, and it was back during COVID, and the planes were going to shut down because they were going to close down this area where they were, and she had to get like X amount of people home. But you know, she had intended how that trip was going to go for everybody, and she got the last plane out for everybody, you know. So if we intend for what we want to do, the cooperative components of the universe are going to line up for us.
Yes. And you know, it's all about the balance with things, looking at reality. You know, it's like certain things that we want to do, still create your vision board, still create your dreams. Like what I have on my vision board, people would think I'm crazy. I don't listen to that. Right. And it's all about, okay, still create your vision board, regardless of what it is, you know, and it's staying in reality. And it's really important to write down, let's say if you had to make a decision on something, write down all of the positive qualities about this and the negative, and you'll be really surprised, because you're going to be writing down, oh my God, well, I heard this, and oh my God, that's the fear factor, that's lower energy. And that's where the government wants you. That's where certain energies want you to be. So you'll listen to them and be programmed. And you'll also see a lot more digital things happening and things washing up on the shore, which it's going to freak people out, of course. However, it's like, okay, you know, it's all about, how can I help? What can I do more for my planet? What can I do more to help my neighbor or my friend or this person? You know, they're really going through a hard time. What can I contribute? What can I give? Right.
Yes.
And even right now, there's people that are having problems and issues getting pregnant. Today, by the way, also, it's fertility. This moon is also known about fertility. So if you're wanting to have a baby, I'm just saying, you know,
get to
now
it.
in the next 24 hours, get on it, right? You know, but fertility issues have already started, and it's going to continue, unfortunately, as well. However, so let's say if you're whatever, the medical says you cannot have a child for whatever reason, I would be like, you know what? There's so many unwanted children. Look at children around the world that have nothing, that live in poverty. Would you not want to adopt that child? Would you not want to foster that child?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
really good point.
It's all about how you see things. It's like when somebody throws something at you, it can really put you in that fear mode. We all go through it. And it's like, what is that teaching me? Well, fertility because of this and this and this and that. Okay, well, there's unwanted children. There's children abandoned, all of those things. Look at that. So the negative things that are coming that are already here anyways, it's like that old order is shutting down and the new is emerging. So it depends. Yeah. If you want to stay grounded and immerse yourself in the positive energy and be spiritual, more spiritually inclined, or you can live in the old order with fear and power and greed and all of that.
Yeah.
The negative.
Yes. 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 And you know, I love law of attraction. When we meet with closed doors, if we ask the question, and whether it's bad or whether it's good, this is actually access consciousness. If you ask the question, how does it get better than this? Then not only does your subconscious mind start going to get you those answers, but the universe starts to bring them to you as well. So like you said, sorry, you know, you can't do fertility, you don't have it. Okay, how does it get better than this? And then all of a sudden, you may meet somebody in the store who knows somebody, you know, at the Catholic charity or whatever it is, you know, and the next thing you know, all of these things are lining up for you to say yes to get what you really, really desire in your heart of hearts, right?
Yeah. And, you know, like we all have that soul contract, you know, it's like with me wanting to move forever, you know, and then I surrendered it completely during that eclipse. I started hearing clarity, and that's what it did, you know, and there's been certain roadblocks for me going a certain direction. Right. And then it's like, oh, wow, here I thought maybe I missed a step or I did this and that. But that's the thing. It's like really taking a look back, because your higher self really has you, you know, and there's so many angels closer to the earth right now in your guides. I mean, I even had one of my best friends come to me the night before I started unpacking, and he told me something when he was still alive. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. You know, so it's being grateful for what you have, and stop looking so much at, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because that fear, you'll attract it right to you.
I love it. That's so true. It's so true. And you know what? I am aware of the angels being so nearby now. And, you know, I give them carte blanche in my life, but still every day, you know, when I wake up, the first thing I do is invite them, you know, to help me out today, you know, and give them, you know, the things that I want to do. So Marius has one more question. Does Jeni get intuition for the great awakening of humankind, fostering kindness? Is that coming for us, Jen?
Yes. I mean, kindness is the way to go. You know, whenever you can take a look at, you know, somebody suffering, let's say, or going through something, you know, it's up to you, of course. When you're walking in your soul and listening to your soul and your heart with the right intention, you're going to be able to walk on the path of kindness automatically, because it's automatically who you are. Where if you live more in ego mind, let's say, you're not going to go into that direction of kindness. You're going to be like, you know what? I could have $1 million in my pocket and there could be somebody who is short $5, let's say. That's their issue. That's their problem. You know, it's like, for goodness sakes, you know, help someone if you truly can, can. But there's a balance of receiving and giving. If you're constantly giving so much, you block the prosperity to receive of abundance. So it's like whenever I do my meditations and such like that, I always send out and meditate prayers for world peace and all of that to humanity and kind. However, I radiate that energy more so towards the darkness, because if you show the darkness unconditional light, Spirit, I want to open up that energy to the darkness to see unconditional love, because if they had unconditional love, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Exactly. I have chills.
Kindness is vital.
That's beautiful.
Vital. No judgment.
Yeah. And even during the mastermind, when we do the visualization, I invite the darkness to open to the light, that it's never too late to put the key in the lock. They can make the change if they want to. I always leave that open, you know. Jeni, we only have 4 minutes left. This is the fastest half hour on the planet. I know. Tell people how to find you, how to get incredible readings from you. And are you available tonight? No, just kidding.
Well, the best way to get a hold of me is on my website, soulworkwithjeni.com. I'm all over social media. You can find me there. You can send a message. But your best bet is book or contact me through my website, because I do get those messages. And especially right now with Mercury retrograde, if you send a message, it can go lost. It could go missing. It could go to the wrong person and such like that. And, you know, then we can definitely set up an appointment. Like, I'm literally all over. You know, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jeni Ji Cousins, because I do weekly videos on what's the energy and tell you what to expect on this day and that day, how to utilize that energy, what body parts can be hurting more on different days, what not to do on these days, how to do this and how to do that. So
you get a lot of content for people. That's so great.
Yeah, I deal with a lot of suicides too. So, you know, that's the thing. Kindness and compassion and love is so important, so important. And you know, if anything, nobody can judge anybody. We all have our own pathway, our own soul's footprints.
Yes.
We don't have to get involved with that person or whatever like that. But just please never judge anybody, because you truly don't know what they're going through, what they've been through.
Right. And, you know, the energy of judgment doesn't only close up what you're thinking about them, but it closes up the possibilities in our world as well, you know? So Jeni, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe come back in the near future, maybe take some questions from the audience. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. I'm always honored to come on your show. Always honored. So grateful. So grateful.
Oh, thanks, Jeni. I feel like the air is sparkly when you come on. Well, and your background
you have to make it sparkly. Yeah. It's how you make it. It's, you know, like we all have our good and bad days, right? That's, you know, right. And then it's like, oh, for God's sakes, just snap out of it, right?
Exactly.
You know, go for a walk, do this or that, bring out your inner child and start, you know, laughing about whatever. Don't take life as serious, regardless of what's been dealt. Believe me, I've had a lot dealt with me, like we all have, but it's how you go about it.
Yes. And look for beauty in the world. You know, spring is happening and there is so much beauty, right? If we just cast our eyes in the direction of beauty. So thank you so much, Jeni. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Guys, love has already won, right? Love has already won. But if you can't find love, you know, tonight or tomorrow or the next day, try for peace. because truly peace is actually a higher vibration than love. So even though you're thinking, oh, I can't find love, I'm feeling gnarly, I'm not going to be able to check in with my manifestations. If you can go into neutrality and to some degree of peace, then the manifestations are going to keep coming to you. So much love, everybody. Jeni, thank you so much. We'll see you next week right here, 7:30 p.m. And don't forget to join us Tuesday night at 8 p.m. right on Broadcast Team Alpha YouTube. Augie and I are going to be, taking quantum thinking to the I don't even know what realm.
Quantum level.
Yeah, and beyond. So much love, everybody. Thanks, Mac. Thanks, Jeni.